We're not exactly sure how many galaxies there are, but scientists think it's more than several hundred billion. Galaxies come in all sorts of shapes, like spirals, circles, and more. Luckily, NASA has looked at some galaxies near our home galaxy, the Milky Way. The Milky Way hangs out with other galaxies in a group called the Local Group. Some of these galaxies are little dwarf galaxies like Segue 2, with a mass just 550,000 times that of our Sun, coexist alongside supergiant elliptical galaxies like IC 1101, a staggering 1,700 times heavier than the Milky Way and its immediate neighbors. Over time, these galaxies bump into each other and change their shapes. This happens because they're all part of a big group. This group collaboration affects how each galaxy grows and moves around in space. The Local Group. In exploring the cosmic neighborhood known as the Local Group, we find a vast expanse spanning approximately 10 million light-years in diameter, with a collective mass roughly 3 trillion times that of our Sun. Within this colossal grouping, additional galaxy clusters contribute to its complexity. Yet, the Local Group itself is part of an even larger structure known as the Virgo supercluster, extending across the cosmos. Divided into 4 distinct parts, the Local Group's first segment comprises the Milky Way and its satellites, which include dwarf galaxies and star clusters. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, ranks as the second largest member within this cluster, harboring an estimated 200 to 400 billion stars and 25 to 100 billion brown dwarfs. With its distinctive spiral structure, the Milky Way spans approximately 200,000 light-years in diameter, while maintaining a thickness of around 1,000 light-years. At its core lies a bulge spanning about 27,000 light-years and concealing a supermassive black hole, believed to be 4.3 million times the mass of the Sun, with a smaller black hole orbiting it. Much of the Milky Way's mass is attributed to dark matter, making precise estimations challenging. However, recent estimates suggest a mass of approximately 1.5 trillion times that of the Sun. Venturing beyond the Milky Way, we encounter its 31 satellites, predominantly irregularly shaped dwarf galaxies, whose contorted forms bear witness to the gravitational influence exerted by their larger neighbor. Number 1. Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy. Starting with our closest neighboring galaxy, let's take a closer look at the Canis Major Dwarf Galaxy, also known as the Canis Major Overdensity, situated right in our cosmic backyard inside the Local Group. Positioned in the constellation Canis Major, this galaxy is a subject of intrigue and debate among astronomers. What's fascinating about the Canis Major Dwarf is its unique composition, boasting a significant population of red giant stars, estimated to be around 1 billion in total. The Canis Major Dwarf could very well be our closest cosmic neighbor within the Milky Way, residing just a mere 25,000 light-years away from us, and about 52,000 light-years from the heart of our galaxy. Despite its classification as a dwarf galaxy, its true nature is still up for debate. In fact, some studies have raised doubts about whether it's actually a separate galaxy at all. An investigation back in 2009 found only a handful of RR Lyrae variable stars in the region, suggesting it might be more closely related to our own Milky Way, blending into its halo and thick disk populations. Number 2. Sagittarius Dwarf Elliptical Galaxy. Discovered in 1994, the Sagittarius Dwarf Elliptical Galaxy remained elusive for quite some time due to its faintness and the obscuring presence of our galaxy's central region. Despite its considerable size, spanning approximately 10,000 light-years across, the Sagittarius Dwarf Elliptical Galaxy faces an uncertain fate, as the gravitational forces exerted by the Milky Way are likely to disrupt it. To put its size into perspective, our Milky Way stretches about 100,000 light-years across, and the Sagittarius Dwarf Elliptical Galaxy is still considered relatively large. Positioned on the opposite side of the Milky Way from the Sun, it sits approximately 70,000 light-years away, with its center lying 50,000 light-years from the heart of our galaxy. Interestingly, its proximity to us is such that some of the Sagdeg stars actually extend into the outer reaches of the Milky Way. It's worth noting that the representation of the Sagittarius Dwarf Elliptical Galaxy in images depicting the nearest galaxies is merely an artist's interpretation. The only real image we possess of this galaxy is captured in the radio wavelength, adding to its enigmatic allure. Number 3. Andromeda Nebula. Andromeda Nebula, the next galaxy on Thye list. Sometimes known as only Andromeda, this galaxy, along with its satellites, is an integral part of the Local Group, referred to as the Andromeda subgroup. Positioned approximately 800 kiloparsecs away, equivalent to about 2.5 million light-years, it holds the status of our closest neighboring galaxy, distinguished from the dwarf galaxies. With a diameter measuring around 220,000 light-years, slightly larger than that of the Milky Way, Andromeda boasts an astounding trillion stars, 3 to 5 times more abundant than our galaxy. Despite this stellar abundance, both galaxies share a similar mass, roughly 1.5 trillion solar masses. Andromeda's distinctive presence in the night sky is characterized by its elongated light spot, visible to the naked eye, and 6 times larger in angular diameter than the Moon. As a spiral galaxy with 2 well-defined arms, Andromeda intrigues astronomers with its binary core, featuring 2 prominent star clusters separated by approximately 5 light-years. Speculations suggest that Andromeda may have engulfed another galaxy at some point, contributing to its complex core structure. Hosting around 400 globular clusters, 2 to 3 times more than the Milky Way, Andromeda likely absorbed numerous dwarf galaxies in the past, with the existing clusters representing remnants of their cores. Notable satellites include the dwarf spiral galaxies M32 and M110, with theories proposing that M32 orbited Andromeda billions of years ago, leaving a significant impact on both galaxies' structures. Forecasts predict a collision between the Milky Way and Andromeda in approximately 5 billion years, promising a spectacular celestial event. While the precise consequences of this cosmic encounter remain uncertain, the collision is anticipated to reshape the galaxies involved, highlighting the dynamic nature of the universe. Number 4. Large Magellanic Cloud. Ranked as the 4th largest galaxy in the local group, the Large Magellanic Cloud holds its own cosmic significance. Positioned roughly 163,000 light-years away, this galactic giant houses an estimated 30 billion stars within its relatively diminutive diameter, which is just 7 times smaller than that of our Milky Way. Despite its smaller size, the Large Magellanic Cloud's mass is a mere fraction, only 300 times lighter than our galaxies, largely due to the absence of a supermassive black hole at its center and the abundance of dark matter in the Milky Way's galactic halo. Classified as an SBM-type galaxy, the Large Magellanic Cloud occupies a transitional niche between dwarf spiral and irregular galaxies, although its former spiral structure has been largely obscured by gravitational interactions with its larger neighbors. Notable stellar inhabitants include R136a1, a blue supergiant with a staggering mass 315 times that of the Sun and a luminosity 8.7 million times greater. Another standout is the red giant WOH G64, boasting a diameter over 1,500 times that of the Sun. Meanwhile, within the Milky Way, the Virgo stellar stream, spanning approximately 5% of the sky, is believed to be the remnants of a dwarf spherical galaxy that was mostly absorbed by our galaxy over time, serving as a testament to the dynamic nature of galactic evolution. Number 5. The Triangulum Galaxy. The Triangulum Galaxy, the 3rd largest member of the local group, is approximately half the size of the Milky Way and lacks confirmed satellites, although some dwarf galaxies within the local group may be gravitationally linked to it. Unlike the Milky Way, Triangulum likely does not harbor a supermassive black hole at its center. Its diameter spans about 50,000 light-years, and it lies at a distance of 2.7 to 3 million light-years from the Milky Way. Within the Triangulum Galaxy lies the NGC 604 Nebula, known as the largest region in space where stars are actively being born. This stellar nursery boasts a diameter of 1,300 light-years and houses around 200 supergiants, collectively possessing a mass equivalent to 100,000 solar masses. These young, luminous stars emit powerful radiation that ionizes the surrounding gas, creating a vivid glow within the nebula. There are also other objects in the local group that do not belong to any of the mentioned subgroups, primarily remote dwarf galaxies and star clusters lacking strong gravitational ties to the larger galaxies. Notably, IC10 stands out, located approximately 2.2 million light-years from the Sun, and serving as the only galaxy within the local group where active star formation occurs. Enveloped in a hydrogen outer envelope larger than the galaxy itself, IC10 exhibits a unique rotation pattern, with its stellar disk rotating in the opposite direction to its outer envelope. Even with their immense dimensions, galaxies like Triangulum remain mere specks in the vast expanse of the universe's large-scale structure, with staggering distances separating them. Nevertheless, humanity persists in unraveling the mysteries of the cosmos, driven by an insatiable curiosity and an unyielding desire to deepen our understanding of the universe with each new revelation.